Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm going to do my full review on the Pena X Bronco. So, I think this is the first X Series knife, and that's why it doesn't say X Series, it just says X on it. According to Ben from Jack Wolf Knives, it is the first X Series knife, and he is pretty close with Pena, so I would venture to guess he is correct. It's a very cool knife. It is manufactured by Riot out of China. It is a slip joint, and it is made of titanium, natural or brown micarta, and S35 VN. Has a flat grind or a saber grind. It's a Lanny's clip blade shape, and very kind of simple, traditional looking design, yet with modern materials. I really like it. I do. This is the first slip joint I really bought. I did bid on a Tucson slip joint with like a copper inlay, the 231 maybe, something like that. And I got it for like 45 bucks. Had M390 in titanium. Not a bad knife at all. But I gave it away because I really wasn't into slip joints, and it was really heavy because of the copper. And I never really gave it a chance. I posted a picture on Instagram, and then it sat in a knife case until I gave it away for a raffle, right? So this is my first time really owning, carrying, using a slip joint. And, man, I gotta say, it's a good-ass knife. Now, it's not fidgety as hell, because you guys know I love fidgeting. But it is fun. It's got some walk and talk. It does have a very strong pull. We'll get into that. But it's enjoyable nonetheless. So this did cost 230 bucks, I believe, from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I don't think they're available anymore. Seems they sold out. A few of us bought them on a live stream, and it seems like that took up the rest of their stock. But I could be wrong. Let's talk about it aesthetically, right? Again, really simple design, very traditional yet modern, and I like that. It's a very nice looking design. The inlay sits proud of the scale a little bit, so it's not your normal Riot where like there's seamless transitions, and it seems to have been done on purpose. Again, it sort of reminds me of the Brian Brown Jaeger M that has the micarta inlay. I had one of those, and it kind of has that similar feel, like it was meant to be raised up a little bit. I could be misremembering that knife, but it really kind of has that look and feel to it. I love the titanium. It's finished very nicely. You can see that spring along the back here. It is flush all the way down. It is flush in all three positions, which is a big deal for slip joints, I suppose. I didn't even realize I'm sitting right behind a Jeep that has Black Lives Matters with two hearts on the side of it, just like spray painted on the back window. That's interesting. So anyway, sorry. Yeah, so that's the aesthetic when closed. When open, again, traditional with modern touch. And I kind of went into the blade shape and everything. I love the blade grinds, or the grind lines. Nice Riot belt satin. You have them, they're kind of vertical on the flats, and then they are horizontal on the actual edge, or the blade down here, right? I love that. I love the Lanny's point, clip point design. Just has a really good swoop to it. Just a sexy looking blade, and overall just a sexy looking knife. Ergonomics, man, this thing fits like a glove in my hand. I've said before, this looks very much like my Pena Lanny front flipper, and the only real difference is down here. Instead of having this curve in and then having it like this, it's more of a rounded butt, and it kind of rounds out and down like this, which is fine. The ergos on that are really good, but this is like perfectly melted to my hand. Fits very well. My thumb rides up on the spine here, and this spring is so strong that, I mean, it would take a lot of force and a big accident to have this close on you while using it. So ergos are fantastic. Carry is, that's an interesting category when it comes to a slip joint, right? It has this awesome leather slip. This comes with it, which is impressive to me. I've been carrying it with the kind of pivot at the top because I'm left-handed. So I kind of squeeze it out and then I'm ready to pull, right? Whereas a righty would probably put it in pivot first so that it would come out ready to pull. So that's kind of up to your discretion, I suppose. It fits in there extremely well. It is very nice fit. It's comfortable in pocket. I've carried this in my front left pocket a few times. I have a couple of shorts with like a hidden zipper pocket behind the front pocket. I've had it in there. I've tried it in the back pocket. I'm not as big of a fan of the back pocket. But when you need it, you just squeeze it, it comes out. I know a lot of people, I think, like to do like a squeeze and shake. This slip does not really work for that. So, you might need a little bit of a stiffer leather, thicker kind of sheath for that. I know it has these, kind of flaps at the top. So I guess you could flap it down, pull out, whatever you want to do, right? It carries very well. It's not the lightest knife in the world or the smallest knife in the world. It's a relatively large knife. I mean, it's a 3.15 inch blade, I believe, which for a slip joint, that's pretty big. And overall, it's probably close to 7 inches, maybe. I'd probably say it's like 6 3/4 inches total. If you take a 3.15 inch blade, put it into this handle, you're talking, close to 4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's right at 6 3/4 total. Carry is great, in my opinion, if you carry slip joints. For me, it's not like the most comfortable thing in the world because I'm not used to it yet, but it's not like a big deal. It's not a hindrance, doesn't bother me really. So cutting, man, it's another category this guy shines at. I cut some shipping labels out with it. The tip is angled enough in a lower direction that I can get down to a shipping label without having to go crazy vertical. That's one thing I don't like about clip points is you get a lot of belly up to the tip and the tip is angled up. So when you're trying to cut something like on paper like that, it makes it hard. But this works fairly well. It's not fantastic, but it works fairly well. It's very sharp. I got through multiple labels with it in one cut. I cut a little bit of cardboard, some paper and such, and it does fantastic. S35 VN will hold up. Do I wish it was M390? Yeah. But you know what? I've found that S35 is more stain resistant, so less rusting issues for me here in the humid ass summer. And it cuts just as well for me. I'm not a heavy user, so S35 usually gets the job done to where I don't need to worry about sharpening all the time or, anything like that. Especially the way I go through knives and rotate them. And by the time I'm, done reviewing this, then I'm on to another knife pretty much. And this gets carried once a month. And then it's like almost never needs to be sharpened kind of thing. That's a positive for me in some ways and a negative in some ways, and I'm sure it is for you guys too, right? Because you're not going to get a bunch of long-term use reviews out of me. So yeah, it is what it is though. So that's cutting and carry and ergos and aesthetics. Sounds, so you have walk and talk. Real nice clacks out, click, 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 click. It sounds great. For a slip joint, I don't know, it's probably a 6 out of 10, right? I had a couple of those GECs from Ben that sounded better in my opinion. And I think part of that is the spring tension. You're really working it on this guy. And with some of the ones I had, you could easily pull them. So you get a little more click, clack, clack, click, clack, clack, because you can move it faster, right? So sounds are okay. Action. So that's where we get into it. I mean, this pull is heavy, guys. There are times where I have not been able to pull it or I'll slip off because it is heavy and I'm a sweaty son of a bitch. The nail nick is pretty good, pretty deep. It feels like it has enough grip to it. You just have to kind of use your whole finger, wrap it around, and then pull with your thumb, and you know, you're good to go. Closing, you know, it pops and snaps. It's just not something you're gonna do one-handed over and over and over, right? Like, I don't know, you're just gonna pop it. Sorry, there's somebody like pulling up, and then shut it. And yeah, that's pretty much all you're gonna do with it. But yeah, it's definitely solid in the action category. I would for sure recommend this knife to pretty much anybody. I mean, if you're left-handed or right-handed, it's going to be ambidextrous, of course, which is awesome. It is a little pricey, you know, and it's not really available anymore. So, you know, those things are factors, of course. But I very much enjoyed my time with it, and I'm not like planning to just sell it as soon as this video is over. I've enjoyed having a slip joint in the collection, and this might be my holdover until Jack Wolf knives come out. So there you go. You can one-hand it like that, and then you kind of close it up like that. So you can one-hand close it, but there's no way you're going to do that opening it one-handed, and there's no way you're going to do it like with your index finger. Like, I can't even move it, right? So anyway, that is the Pena X Bronco slip joint. A very cool knife, and appreciate you guys stopping in and checking it out. I love you all. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.